Hey Blockheads, I'm Whitney Kent here in Sheboygan, Wisconsin at the Sheboygan Youth Sailing Center, and today we're going to talk about how to secure your bungees in your boat to keep things clean, tidy, and not slipping. So we're looking at the bungee cord on this boat. We've got some bungee holding up the hiking straps so that when you're sitting on the side of the boat, your feet have something easy to fall into. We've also got this bungee which is running all the way forward to the topping lift. So basically we're just trying to make sure this bungee is thick enough and at the right tension that it can stretch and is still holding up the hiking strap line. And with this one, you're going to check the tension all the way forward to your topping lift. You're going to want to make sure that you can pull it up, and then the bungee is going to pull the line back down. So as you'll see, we've got some bungees in our boat. We've got all kinds of knots here, and we've noticed recently that they've been slipping. So unlike line, you can't tie a reliable knot in the bungee because it tends to pull through, tends to break, and you can't splice it. So the solution to that is going to be to use a hog ring, which is this little piece of metal. This one is going to be stainless steel so that the water doesn't damage it. If you're in a saltwater location, you'll definitely want a stainless steel hog ring. They come in a variety of sizes, so just make sure you're aware of what size bungee you've got on your boat. And the tool that we're going to use is a Hog Ring's pliers. It's different from a normal pliers because it has some grooves inside where the hog ring is going to sit. So that way it's easier to clamp it shut. So what we're going to do first, we've got two separate sets of bungee here. This one just loops through to keep the hiking straps up. So I'm just going to untie this knot and essentially clamp these two pieces of bungee together to keep it from moving around. So once you have the bungee at the tension you're looking for, you've got your hog ring in your pliers here. We're going to put it over, and then all you do once it's around the two pieces of line is squeeze it tight. Okay? So now those are fastened together. If you flip it over, you see that it basically clamps the two ends together, and now you have like a nice secure fitting. So since this is two separate pieces, I don't want this to slip. I am going to do another one. That time I put it around because those two aren't moving around like they were the first time. So now I can put the hog ring clamp on here. Want each side to fit in the grooves and squeeze it shut. Oops. Make sure you don't catch that. Alright, so now this isn't going anywhere. We've got a nice clean fitting. We don't have a big knot here. So we'll do the same thing with this. Bowline and this bungee tends to slip, also tends to break. And I can squeeze that one all the way up to the eye strap. And put the hog ring clamp over them, squeeze it shut. Now we have a nice clean setup. We don't have the big knots. We can access the plug a little bit better and move around, replace these lines. There's a lot less mess and everything looks clean. So with the hog rings clamped on here, we can be sure that the ends aren't going to break. You'll want to inspect your shock cord, especially throughout the summer as the UVs are hitting it, to make sure there's not any cracks in the line. This one's starting to wear out. The cover is starting to disappear, and there's really no UV resistance to the bungee inside. So be sure you're checking your bungee often, especially if you do have knots tied in it. Those are going to go first.